Yo, that basketball world is the one and only legend of winning, aka Low, and it's time to do our tier listing on the second channel. Now, I already know we're week 1 into the NBA season. However, I still want to do it because I want to make this a routine on my channel where I give you tier listings periodically through the season. And of course, we got to start in the beginning of the year. Now, when it comes to the tiers, we have 4 of them: contenders, playoffs, play-ins, and the trash teams, aka some of those teams trying to tank for Victor Wembanyama. So those are our tiers, and to make it even more challenging, I'm going to try to stuff all 30 teams in one video, so I will be quick as possible. Please forgive me if I don't go too detailed into your teams. I know for a fact somebody's going to just sit in the comment section and say, "Oh, Lo, what about our bench?" Like, I'm sorry, Doug, I'm not going to go into too much details about it. But without further ado, as fast as I possibly can, let's start with the Eastern Conference. All right, first, when it comes to the trash, we have the Detroit Pistons, the Indiana Pacers, the New York Knicks, the Charlotte Hornets, and I got to get one more team. Am I bugging? Oh, Orlando Magic. There we go. So when it comes to Detroit, Indiana, and Orlando, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. All 3 teams are young. They're trying to lose games, trying to get Victor Wembanyama. And then when it comes to the other teams, Charlotte and New York. When it comes to Charlotte, I like the offense. I like what they can do. Very high ceiling on that side of the floor. However, defensively, it's just bad. They have no size, no interior presence. Mason Plumlee is trying to switch hands in the middle of the offseason. I just don't like it at all. Then add on top of the fact, both Terry Rozier and LaMelo are going to start the season out of the rotation, dealing with injuries. So yeah, I think they're going to have a slow start. I don't really think they're going to be able to bounce back, and I just don't like it at all. Then we have the Knicks. I know for a fact my New York Knicks fans out there are probably like, "Oh my God, what are you talking about? We got Jalen Brunson." But no. The problem with the Knicks is that they just scream mid. Like Julius Randle as your number 1 option, mid. Jalen Brunson being the second option to Julius Randle, mid. Mitchell Robinson being your rim protector, mid. Waiting for the RJ Barrett leap, mid. Mid coach, mid playmaking, mid rebounding. Like, everything just screams mid to me. And normally mid is good enough in the Eastern Conference to be like a top 10 seed, but I think in this conference this year it's going to be slightly different. That's the reason why I have them at the bottom. Now, moving into my playing teams, I feel like I'm making really good time here. We're going to put Washington in there, Atlanta. Where's Toronto? Am I bugging? There it is. Toronto, and then one more team. Bro, I feel like I'm wasting time. Chicago. There we go. All right, so when it comes to Washington, I'm gonna be honest with you. Washington, for example, I think they're also mid. Bradley Beal being your first option, mid. KP being the second option to Bradley Beal, also mid. And Kyle Kuzma being the third option isn't that mid. And if anything, that's actually the separation between Washington and New York. Even though I think Washington is also a very mid team, I do like what they can provide a little bit more than New York can. I like the ceiling. I like on both sides of the floor as well. That's why I have them there. But it could be interchangeable. Who knows? Moving on to the Chicago Bulls, which might be a bit more of a surprise. I know last year they were at the top of the conference at one point. However, everything was so interchangeable, so that could potentially happen here as well. But the one thing I don't like about this team are the injuries. Lonzo is already out. Zach LaVine is out as well. And I just don't like a team that is led with DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic, Alex Caruso, no floor spacing at all. I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. And more importantly, defensively, outside of Caruso. Oh no, shout out to Pat Wills. Pat Wills is back. Still though, outside of Caruso, Pat Wills, and Lonzo, they need some more interior presence defensively. And until I see it, I'm not a fan of it. But don't be surprised. They might surprise a couple people. They might be a little higher. Also, shout out to Toronto. I like Toronto. A nice gritty team, length, defense, really good coach. If they didn't have those things, they would definitely be in a trash spot, but they all have those things. Shout out to Pascal Siakam. However, I am not sold on the Scotty Barnes offensive leap. I'm not sold on it yet. The shot still isn't there. The offensive game is going to take a little bit longer to develop. That's why I am hesitant. And also, I just think a lot of the other teams I have ahead of them are just noticeably better. Same thing can be said about the Atlanta Hawks. I like the addition of DeJounte Murray. I love Trae Young, Treyway, and I also think that Clint Capella is going to get a bit more help because DeJounte Murray and DeAndre Hunter are going to play on more minutes. However, what they lost in the offseason, I just don't like. Kevin Huerter is a massive blow to this team, same with Danilo Gallinari, but more importantly, once more, I think the teams ahead of them are just better, slightly better, but still better. All right, moving on to the playoff teams. Brooklyn, who, my goodness, you're already scaring the fuck out of me right now. Cleveland, and Miami. There we go. Again, pretty self-explanatory here. Miami, I really like Miami. They can be a sneaky contender team, but they just need more offensive firepower outside of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy should not be the only player consistently carrying this team on that side of the floor. I still think they're going to have problems with Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson in the playoff settings. I still think Bam Adebayo is not going to take that leap offensively, but these are all things that they would need to do to become contenders. It's terms of a playoff team, great coach team, great defense. I still like Bam Adebayo. Jimmy Butler throughout the regular season might not be playing at a top 5 or top 10 level, but still good enough to lead this team to around 48 to 52 wins. I like that for them. When it comes to Cleveland, I love the D Mitch addition. There's still a lot of concerns with me defensively in the backcourt. However, Garland and D Mitch is nice. The lack of floor spacing with Okoro potentially at the 3 and then Mobley and Jared Allen kind of concerns me as well. But defensively, even though they are lacking in the backcourt, they're going to make up with the size of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. I think they take this to oh my goodness, I gotta focus. I think they will take the leap. I think they take the leap to move forward and solidify them as a consistent high 40s to low 50 ball club. And then we got the Brooklyn Nets. My goodness, Brooklyn. Okay, I'm not gonna spend that much time on it, but Brooklyn, I'm crossing my fingers hoping that you get this shit together, because you got a bad coach. Ben Simmons is on your roster. The team isn't that deep at all. They still suck defensively, and the only reason why I'm giving this much respect to this ball club is just because they have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving on the team. If they did not have these two players on the roster, then they would not, I just wouldn't have them this high at all. Matter of fact, even if they just were missing one of them, I would not have them this high at all, and it would not surprise me that they start to slip and put themselves in the play-ins like they did last year. Who knows? Kyrie might not be on that team after the shit he's doing on Twitter right now. On Twitter and IG, he going crazy. And then finally, we have Philly, Milwaukee, and Boston. Bam. First of all, I mean, look at the tier list. Look at the tier list. It's on fire. But going into the contenders, again, pretty self-explanatory here. Boston, right now, early in the season, they look the best team in the Eastern Conference. Very well ran, still solid coaching. Continuity is there. The Malcolm Brogdon pickup seems like it's going to pay out a lot. Jason Tatum is still inching higher and higher for me as a top 10 player in the NBA, and at least solidifying himself in those regards. And I really just like the depth of defense of this team. I really like this team. It's very well rounded. Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Nothing more else needs to be really said. Giannis is the best player in the NBA, in my opinion. Great defensive unit. Great defensive coach defensively, not offensively. Coach Bud struggles on that side of the floor, and that's the thing that really bothers me and worries me about the Bucks, especially until Chris Middleton comes back. And then finally, we have the Philadelphia 76ers, and boy, this team right here, boy, Doc Rivers, my boy, you might lose your job out there, my boy. They're struggling right now. However, I still believe that if you have both Joel Embiid and man, oh my God, I'm wasting so much time. James Harden. When you have Embiid and James Harden, you're going to be one of the top tiers and one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. And on top of that, they have a lot of other quality pieces surrounding them. Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey. I like the PJ Tucker pickup. They still need more athleticism defensively, and they need a better coach, in my humble opinion. But I still think they're one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. So that's the East. Look at the tiers. I actually think this is a really good job. I know some people are going to hate me, but I think for the most part, this is fine. Now, moving on to the West. Stop the timer. Moving on to the Western Conference. Let me clear it out, and then we'll move to the West. All right, here with the West, top from bottom. Here we go. First with the trash, a.k.a. the Victor Wembanyama teams. Pretty self-explanatory here. Utah, San Antonio, Houston, OKC. This is the last one that might bite me in the butt, but I'm going to go Sacramento. The first four, again, pretty self-explanatory. Young teams trying to tank, trying to get Victor Wembanyama, or shout out to my man Scoot Henderson. Who knows? They're trying to get either one of them. But then when it comes to Sacramento, I like Sacramento. I like Sacktown. I like what they did with the Domantas Sabonis, or at least the attempt of trying to solidify themselves. I do like that. However, the Western Conference, I think, has like 8 legitimate 50-win teams. So I just don't feel confident in claiming that they're going to be able to get there. But shout out to D Fox. Hopefully he has a bounce back season. Sabonis, I like the solid addition. Low key, Harrison Barnes has been a quality rotation piece for them the entire time. And Keegan Murray, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That actually might be the reason why I may regret putting them there instead of in the play-ins. But we'll figure out. Moving on to the next section, we have, oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. All right, New Orleans. New Orleans, I'm gonna put the Lakers there. There's no surprise there. Lakers. Bro, why am I blanking right now? I need 2 more teams. Portland. I need 1 more team. Minnesota. Okay, bet. Jesus, I hope. I hope I did this right. Okay. New Orleans, a sleeper team, might be higher. I love the offense. I love the ceiling of what they're doing. I'm not gonna go too much details. Go check out my main channel because I did a video solely dedicated to them. I really like this team. Zion is back as well, or at least he's supposed to be. And BI as a second option is probably one of the best second options in the NBA. Offense is through the roof. Herb Jones, Trey Murphy. Shout out to my man Trey Murphy. I love the team. Going on to Portland. I love this team offensively. The ceiling is there. Damian Lillard looks like he's back to being Dame Dollar. But I don't like the defense at all. Shout out to Jeremy Grant. I like that addition. Shout out to Anthony Simons, stepping up into the starting rotation. However, I don't know if that's going to be a better fit than CJ, because CJ, I like the dynamic between him and Dame. Nevertheless, though, offense great. Defense not so much. Nurkic is still trying to anchoring this defense. Don't like that at all. So I don't see this team solidifying themselves as a plus 50 win ball club. Then we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm trying my hardest not to allow what I've seen so far to waver me, but bro, I like this team almost from top to bottom. But Karl Anthony Towns cannot play a lick of defense. It is atrocious. It's actually a joke how bad defensively he is. And if he's going to be that bad, that's why I haven't been playing and not higher. Even though I do like the addition of Rudy Gobert, probably paid for him a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much, but still, I like the team. Anthony Edwards potentially taking the next step, even if it's not a crazy leap. Him improving will be definitely necessary for this team to solidify themselves as a playoff unit moving forward. And D'Lo having fewer responsibilities, I like that as well. But Karl Anthony Towns, my God, boy, please play defense. Oh my goodness. And then we had the Lakers. Boy, they might actually be in the trash spot, and the Kings might be a little higher. No floor spacing. I don't believe in the defense at all. Russell Westbrook is a horrible fit, and the only reason why I'm in the play is because I think they're going to make some massive changes before December happens, which may save their year and put them back in the play-in spot. And of course, you have LeBron and AD. When you have those two type of players, you should be able to solidify yourself as a top 10 seed in the Western Conference, regardless of how, bad the rest of the roster is. Shout out to my man Austin Reeves as well. You're doing your this thing. You need to be starting, my boy. You need to be starting. All right, moving on. The playoff teams. Dallas, Phoenix, and one more in Memphis. There we go. I like all three of these teams. Phoenix. Let me start. Let me say first. Phoenix. Chris Paul is aging like milk right now, and it's disgusting. He has no rim pressure, and I just don't like that. However, D-Book seems like he's taking the next step. I also like the fact that Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson are being a bit more well-rounded. Also, DeAndre Ayton is looking like a little bit more solid of a player as well, but they're going to miss Jay Crowder, his defensive intangibles, and just having another 3-and-D player out there. Nevertheless, though, still a solidified 50-55 win ball club. The Dallas Mavericks, Luka Magic, MVP recipient, at least in my opinion, this season. And also, I do like the Christian Wood edition, not for what's going to happen in the playoffs, but for the regular season, of course. And because of their lack of Jalen Brunson as a shot creator, I think that does kind of concern me when they do get in the playoffs. But still, high offense. Defensively, they still should be solid. It may drop a little bit because I don't like Christian Wood defensively, but still solid offensive unit, if not great. Ceiling is there, and defensively they shouldn't drop so much so that it's going to be a problem. However, the offense, I just don't like the fact that you're putting more responsibility back into Luka's hands. Too generic of a style of play. Then we got the Memphis Grizzlies. John Morant looks like he's taking the next leap because, boy, that motherfucker looking crazy right now, my boy. That man looking crazy. However, the rest of the roster is solid, like just solid. If they had one more like legit star caliber player, I would feel way more confident in putting Memphis in the contender spots, and low key putting the Clippers a little bit lower. But, I'll get there. I still like the rest of the roster, though. Shout out to Desmond Bane. Shout out to Steven Adams. Triple J will be back. So when that happens, I think they'll solidify themselves a little bit more. But John Morant looks like he's trying to take that leap to be a top 10 player, and ain't nobody denying him right now. So, of course, I have him up there, but the team still is fairly young, needs some more reps. I just don't see them making it past the second round. Finally, we have the Denver Nuggets, the Clippers, and, of course, the Golden State Warriors. Again, look at it, freeze frame. I like the standings. Just briefly though into the contenders. Golden State Warriors, they are coming back from the championship. They are clearly one of the best teams in the NBA. Depth, defense, offense, have one of the top 5 players in my opinion in the NBA and Stephen Curry. Klay Thompson should look better than he did last year, which would be impressive. Jordan Poole might continue to improve, which would be impressive. I think Wiggins, he's a solid contributor for this team moving forward as well. And then Draymond, even though if there is a slight drop off, I don't think it'll be so damning that it's going to change or alter anything for this team. Self-explanatory. When it comes to the Denver Nuggets, they're going to get back both Jamal Murray and MPJ. That alone will make them at all-time highs offensively. At least I'm predicting that. Jokic is one of the top 3 to 4 players in the NBA, at least in my opinion. And him having more offensive weapons around him will be amazing. Also, I think that I think the Denver Nuggets actually had low-key, one of the best offseason additions throughout the postseason, offseason, playoffs, regular season, summer. They had one of the best offseason additions during the summer with both KCP and Bruce Brown. Some solid energy guys on the perimeter, give you a bit more defense and dynamic while still being quality complementary pieces on the offensive end. I love it. Then we had the Clippers, in my opinion, the deepest team in the NBA, but I failed. The reason why I was willing to drop them down a little bit more, and I was really fighting it between Memphis and the Mavericks, is because of Kawhi. This nigga Kawhi has missed an entire season basically, and still is not 100% healthy. If that doesn't concern you, I don't know what is. Like that is crazy. He is still coming off the bench on limited minutes. Like if that doesn't concern you, I don't know what does. That concerns the hell out of me, and he's going to miss regular season games. This team is deep, but I don't think deep enough to solidify them any higher than the 3rd best team in the NBA, and I do not believe they are going to get out the Western Conference, but I still think they're top 3, but that's if he's not healthy. When Kawhi is healthy, the team is the deepest. They have the perimeter defense. John Wall, great addition so far. Looks like he's doing his damn thing. Shout out to John Wall and all the other players on the roster. Again, a very deep team, great coach team. I love it. Now, here we are again, screenshot of Western Conference. I personally think like, oh yeah, time. I personally feel like I did a really, really good job with this. But y'all let me know in the comment section below. Any kind of complaints, I'm pretty sure people are going to tell me, but we signed this G Leaguer who's going to take the next stab, low. You didn't talk about him. I know for a fact people want to say that. But I think I did a good job explaining them within a short amount of time. Y'all let me know in the comment section below where y'all rank some of these players, if I got it right or wrong. Argue in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you want to hear more about the New Orleans Pelicans, click the video on the screen right now to my main channel, because I did go on a bit deeper into them. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. I'll see you motherfuckers later, man. Peace.